Welcome to a new track breakdown on Hidden Driveway. Today I'm here with Cameron Shull and jnoh77, who both have full interviews out on the channel, and they have a song together called
Hammocks and Gurneys.
You sure do. It just came out, but two very good friends of mine, and the two of them made a very good song together, so I figured, what a better opportunity to have them come together and show off that song.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love how we said it together like the Powerpuff Girls. That was really a powerful moment. I can move mountains.
That's a great show.
Okay, alright, what should we start with? Let's start with the beat. This is just, I found this one looking online because I was trying to write, just marching music. Same with this one. These are all from the same, just, sample library. Oh, you hear the tenors? This is what I play for marching band. This is cymbals, I think. But yeah, the mixing on all oh my god! Yeah, the mixing on all of these is as basic as you can get. Well, this one isn't saturated. Just EQ'd the what was I thinking with this EQ? This EQ is also crazy. But yeah, I have no idea what I was thinking when I made this beat, but like it turned out kind of hard. Actually, I would have never given it to Cameron unless like Scott told me I should. I think Scott told me I should give it to Cameron. I don't think I would have ever showed this beat to the world because I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just like, okay, it's just like a beat to me. It's not like personal like the shoegaze one is. For the marching bass drum, I just layered that with like an actual like kick sample. It's kind of polyrhythmic. I mean, not really, but it has that vibe to it. It's nice going back and seeing all the elements that happen within this beat because I don't remember making any of them. Like, I have no idea why this is here. This beat feels like a fever dream to me. I don't know how I made it. It goes that's just a pattern for the cymbals, but since like they're so saturated, you can barely hear it. I don't know what this is. I tried to imagine what a real tenor player would have written, but like I wasn't a real tenor player when I wrote this song, so I have no idea what I was thinking.
It sounds cool though.
I don't know why I added the sound effect so much. This is from the Flying Fish drum kit too. Also, I have reverb on the master. I would like anyone who knows me knows I would never put reverb on the master if this was like a serious musical project. There's nothing really too interesting about this beat, really. The only interesting part right now, well, interesting to you guys, maybe interesting to me, not really. These are all kicks I just like from C# 2 to A7. I have no idea why I wrote that.
Wait.
I have no idea how I made the clap sound like that. And why it serves as a hi-hat. Yeah, 808's normal. That's just a crash. This is a polyrhythm, I'm pretty sure. This is what I meant when I said, well, like fucking I have no idea how I was sober when I made this. Yeah, I mean, the snare pattern is cool. Like, I wish I could try to incorporate marching elements, like, into my actual music. That'd be so cool. And this was just, like, a very weird first attempt of doing that. I won't see it as a bad first attempt. Just not normal. And then this transitions right into the shoegaze beat.
In the first half of the beat, you told me that you were a percussionist, and when you sent that first half, because initially you just sent the second half. So when you sent the first half, I'm like, yeah, like I see it now, like with the way that
it lets me like thinking more industrial, like to my music, more experimental. That in Juju, I don't know how to pronounce it. I
think it's Shushu.
XIU. Is it Shushu?
I think so.
Really? No, I'm really glad you sent that to me. It definitely sounds like a shitpost. I think that a good way. I think that by itself it would be a little confusing, maybe like a cool interlude, but I feel like the beat switch really ties it all together. And
yeah, that was the weird part, because Scott said at the beginning when I said in that beat switch that the beats don't fit together, but it's weird now that you're saying it fits together.
Well, now that I hear the song as it is, I think it works. But at first, when you told me that,
I think what Cameron did was like using, I don't even know what he says at the beginning, but he uses, I don't know the words to my own song. He uses that beginning kind of, I'm not trying to sound anything out. I'm just doing the rhythm. But he uses that at the beginning of both beats, and I feel like that ties it together.
Yeah,
and I remember him saying to me, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I did it anyways, and it did work. It was just an interesting way to go about things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the second part of the beat. Like, what I want to emphasize the most when I'm going through this is that this beat is, you can make something fucking crazy out of like something so little. And what I mean by that, like, if we look at this guitar riff, it's so beautiful, really. It's literally just the processing that gets it done, if anything. So I'll go through that. Just turn it off. But for this beat, it's literally just the 2-5-1. And if you don't know what that is, study jazz harmony. It's really fun. So it's just tension release. Like, it starts on the 1 chord, then we get a 2, then we get a flat 2-7, which is basically just a tritone substitution, which is, again, study jazz harmony, but I'll explain it for the sake of explaining it. So we take this D sharp and we build a major 7th chord off of it. Which is this right here. If I remember correctly, if we move it up, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 5-7 chord, which is in every major scale, which is great. So basically what we're doing when we do that, we keep the tritone when we move it 6 down, because a tritone is 6 half steps, 3 steps, which is why they call it a tritone, if you didn't know. So it's basically mirrored, not really mirrored, whatever you want to call it, you can call it. Okay, yeah. And it's the exact same deal for this, except we have a lot thicker chords, which really isn't anything crazy. It's just keep stacking till it sounds beautiful. You can raise these up an octave, you can raise them, whatever. I don't know why this chord is so thick, but it is. Then I just made an arpeggio, which is
I thought this was a sample.
No, this is all MIDI.
That's crazy.
See, that's the fucking crazy part about it.
That's crazy.
Music, it's just what you can do with your own personal talents. Because I'm talented at writing like alt rock shoegaze stuff, right? That is my shtick. I am a goat at mixing that shit. So
yeah, you are.
If you can turn it, just turn something from your childhood or from your hometown or from your home country. If you can implement that into your own music while making it accessible, while making other people feel something, like I did with Cameron, that's just what music is about for me.
Right.
This is a 6, I think 5. I don't know what this chord is. I'm not going to spend my entire day figuring out what chord this is. Just know it's a chord, that it doesn't matter. What matters here is this plagal cadence at the end here. Wait, is that a plagal cadence? No, I'm thinking of the wrong progression. Oh, wait. Let me go to the right progression real quick. This is the plagal cadence, yeah. 1, 3, 4, minor 4. I was playing it on the vibraphone one day, and my friend came up and told me that's a white girl progression. So I've thought about it as a white girl progression, like for the rest of time.
I should have done my best white girl impression.
True, but yeah, this is literally just I raise the thirds an octave up. This is 1, 3, 4, and then minor 4. I don't really remember why the minor 4 sounds so good in this context. Just know that it does, and that's what a plagal cadence is. 1, 3, 4, minor 4. Go ahead.
What's crazy is like, because I make beats, right? And when I explain myself, like, music theory, I assume, by the way you're talking.
A little bit.
So the way that you're speaking, as opposed to how I speak when I make beats, it's so different. And what I think is so interesting about that is, it's still somehow, they both sound good. Like they both like don't sound like garbage. And it's like I make beats in a way that like I explain myself when it comes to how it feels, as opposed to like the mathematical way of saying it. And I just find that really super interesting. It's like we speak different languages, but somehow we can say the same thing and understand it.
Yeah. It's just beautiful. It's like
it is.
That's the only way I can really put it. Like expression is just we take it for granted.
Yeah.
And I went through the process of explaining all these chord progressions to just put it out there. You could go home yourself and make this beat today if you really wanted to. It's literally as simple as Googling like a really popular chord progression, adding some extensions like the ninth. I don't know where I used the ninth. Adding like a 9th, a 13th if you want it, making it that upper kind of harmonic. I shouldn't say harmonic. That upper just chord extensions really add to the dissonance, which higher up makes it kind of sound beautiful in some scenarios. So I abused the shit out of that concept in this song. This is literally a half step below the tonic, and it still sounded good because it was put low in the mix.
That shit's clipping so much. I love it.
Exactly. That's how you get that sound.
Yeah, no, totally.
I don't even know if you noticed this. If you could tell this apart in any part that wasn't this.
What do you
Actually,
mean?
I'm missing another part of this beat too, but I deleted it. I deleted all the WAV shit off my computer because I needed space. This is another kind of melody, not melody, kind of melody. It's just tremolo guitars with. I'll show you my secret. I'll show you the secret processing.
Dang.
So you just get an amp. I like to have double track tremolo guitars because I think they sound cool. You can barely tell a difference. with my special processing, but this is literally just the default preset. I literally didn't change shit. I just EQ'd it. EQ'd the shit out of it. Just kind of get rid of that presence that, I mean, for other songs where it might be like the lead melody, I would maybe keep it like that. But for the sake of this song, I didn't want anything too noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
And then this delay is pretty much default too. Like all I did was add 16th note delay, just at 50% mix, give it a good bit of feedback, some diffusion. Then this is the fucking Mr. Krabs secret ingredient right here. I like this plugin is so goated. Valhalla plugins are industry standard, but this is literally default too. I was so lazy when making this beat. Usually I nitpick the fuck out of everything. I just want to like just give a second to appreciate this beat drop. Swag. It's in the full song. I'll look at it later. It was me saying swag.
Your vocal debut.
It was my vocal debut.
That's amazing.
But for every like time I heard that beat, I would always say swag right before the beat drop, and I don't know why. So I thought to myself, this has to be in the final song. Bow, 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 bow. That was lazy too. I just chopped like the first 2/8 notes of everything together again.
Well, I don't think it's lazy if it sounds good though.
Yeah, I mean that's two different things though. I mean, it can be lazy and it can sound good. It can be complex and it can sound terrible. And again, another just kind of beauty of art, just like I can't put it into words how crazy art is just as a concept and how it makes people feel. Because it's something you just have to understand for yourself.
That's something I'm going to talk about a bit later, too, based off my lyrics.
It's weird because it, like, collaborating with Cameron and Alfred Morose, just both of them, they love my shit so much. And, like, I've gone through stages where I hate my art to death. And, I thought about, like, just giving up on it completely. But the fact that I can make other people feel like that over my music and have them, like, for Cameron's sake, relive their fucking youth over my music, it's just, like, glorious.
Once you start creating art, you can never quit. Like, you, like,
exactly.
I've tried to quit. It's like a healthy addiction. And that's why. Yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, I told you guys already, but if anyone's watching, I should probably tell them too that this is a similar sound that I used to have, and given the lyrics, which was totally random by the way, it just it fits super well with the ways that I used to sound as well as what I was experiencing during that time. So the fact that I am collaborating with someone who was my age and is making a beat like this and randomly made a similar sound like how I used to make music back in 2020. It was the most beautiful coincidence of all time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, to preface this, because Judah, you had this beat like way before you sent it to Cameron, right?
Yeah, I was gonna send it to Chapters Carter, but then he never added me on Discord until like a week ago, so that never came to be. That never came to fruition. And now that I'm like hearing Cameron on it, I can't imagine anyone else. What?
How old's this beat?
Like 4 months.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It actually might be. Like I know it was this year. I'm pretty sure it was this year. Yeah. But let's get into the drums because the drums are the nuttiest part of the beat. I don't know how I made them. Actually, let me go over this fucking tag real quick, dude.
Oh, I love that tag. It feels so good.
The fucking Sweet Leaf tag, yeah. I was listening to Black Sabbath one day when I was trying to figure out how I could make that beat drop harder. And like it came to me just, oh my god, wait. the Sweet Leaf. Like, I don't know what it is about that tag. I don't even know if anyone else finds it hard because I do.
It goes hard. It's like I told you. It was when I first heard that part, I was like, "Damn, this shit's hard." But so, yeah.
Yeah, let's go over the drums because the drums are weird about this beat that I didn't even realize I did until like a while later. I have two overheads panned hard left and hard right playing at the same time with the exact same rhythm. I don't know why I did that and why it's so hard, but like something in my brain fucking cooked when I did that.
Can you elaborate on that? Like for like dumb people like me.
So if you look at these panners, left, right, and there are these are two like completely different open hi-hat sounds from.
Oh, I thought you said like, I thought you said something else and it confused me.
Well, let me give a shout out to Flying Fish real quick because like I don't know if y'all know him, but he blew up on TikTok and it's like I found his drum kit and I've been using that ever since. It's goated. I'm pretty sure like all of these sounds are probably from there, which is crazy, but
that makes sense.
That's how you get the signature jnoh77 sound. It was just free, and I was like, oh, I like this guy's production. I might as well go find that. And he makes similar shoegaze to me.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Which one in that regard? But actually, I got these open hi-hat like ideas from All Right by Kendrick Lamar. Like if you listen to that beat, it'll have that just kind of quarter note hi-hat, which is like duh. But for me, since this beat is at like the project file set at 80 BPM instead of 160 like it should be, they're eighth notes, but it isn't really that big of a difference. So yeah, I have two different claps for some reason, but like it adds to kind of how weird and hard the beat is, because for these it's just like that kind of build up, that da, and then for the second I have triplets. Then I have that same repeating rhythm for the hi-hat, I'm pretty sure. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, right here. I'm kind of the hi-hat god.
That's true. Your hi-hats confuse me when I write for it, but when I write for it, it's so unique. So it's very good. Yeah,
that rhythm was just, I kind of just made it one day. There's no real secret to this. You just kind of have to just write enough music and you'll make this on your own. Oh yeah, this is weird. I experimented with just like hi-hat rolls on kicks. I don't know why I did that, but it like makes the beat so much harder, and I can't imagine it anywhere else. Like anything else. I mean. Oh, this is my favorite part of the beat, dude. I don't know if you heard this. I love that part, dude.
Wait, can you play it again? I can't really hear it through my phone.
Wait. I'll turn it all the way up.
Okay. No, I haven't heard that.
Wait, I'll turn it way the fuck up.
No, I mean I heard it right now, but like when I was writing for it and performing it, I never heard it once.
Let's see where it is.
That's weird, but it's cool. But
I'll turn it like all the way up.
No.
In the context of the beat, so you can hear. Whoa.
Yeah, you know what? A couple times. I might have.
I also want to go over this 808 processing too, which is like, I don't know how I made the 808 sound so crazy. When it's literally just Saturn 2 with a tube, warm tube. Saturn 2, everyone get this fucking plugin. Everyone needs to get this plugin. I swear to God. And I guess I cranked the bass up. I guess I cranked it so hard it like became softer. that I boosted these kind of low mids. About like you can feel the punch there more than anywhere else.
Definitely adds a lot of color to it.
It does. It's so saturated. That's kind of it for the beat.
What about
the vocals? I'll go in. It's in a separate project file that I was about to open.
Oh yeah, and what was your like thought process like behind wanting to make that beat to begin with?
It just kind of happened. I don't remember much since it was such a long time ago. Probably, I mean, not that really, but in like, not really in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that long of a time ago. But what I found interesting, what I did with this, I hit it with two compressors just to squash out anything. At the peaks, it was super loud. At like the rapping, like the more laid back parts, it was super quiet. So I had to hit it with two compressors.
My fault. I need to figure that out.
No, that's cool.
Oh, I have a problem with your vocals too sometimes, where I have to like change the different like vocals you send me.
Yeah, I'm not professional enough to figure out, like, I don't know if it's in my performance.
Oh
or,
shit!
like,
I'm not streaming. Wait.
Something I need to tweak in the microphone. I don't know what it is.
But yeah, he had two takes, but the takes weren't always happening at the same time, like right here. So instead of like panning them, I literally just put an auto panner just to pan it left and right as a song went on. And I put a modulator on it, and I guess this is just a default Valhalla space modulator. Again, go buy Valhalla products. They deserve it. Oh yeah, I actually have 3 compressors on this. I have OTT on it too, apparently. Okay, anyways, I saturated these vocals a ton just to give it that kind of like almost stadium effect. And then I put a delay. I put a doubler on them. What? Okay, I have an OTT labeled doubler for some reason. But yeah, I saturated these vocals a ton. I compressed them a ton just to give it that kind of crazy effect. And then I have delay on, yeah, just on this. I have a separate send for the delay, so I can control the volume easily. Like if I wanted to. Yeah. Everything is then routed to this mix. Kind of just not the mix bus, but just the bus for the vocals. Yeah, compressor doing work, a lot of work, so all in mode. I have the same processing for the most part in both of these, except for the Saturn. It's just a lot less saturated. Like my room's right outside the kitchen, so I don't know if you can hear my family laughing out there.
Having a good time.
They're having a jolly time. Yeah, I boosted the highs there. And I guess I hit it with another compressor afterwards. I guess we'll never have enough compression. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I do anything. It's just like when you're in the heat of mixing and producing, and you're not like, because this was the first track that I mixed in like a long time. And vocals aren't really hard to mix. Like for vocals, just compress EQ, Saturn. You can add reverb or delay. I wouldn't add both. I always prefer delay on mine. I don't love reverb. I don't love reverb for the washy effect they give off. But it just depends on what kind of reverb and what kind of delay you're doing. Just like make sure you check all your options, because you'll never know what sounds awesome. This is a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not sure when this video will come out, but me and Alfred's song, I don't know if it'll be out when this video is out. I did it like, I tried to make those vocals super psychedelic because I thought it fitted the Alfred's vocals as a whole better. So it's like when you're mixing, it's more about the ideas you have than it is the process you always have. I don't know if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say is if you have an idea and it sounds good, run with it. That's how you create your own style, and that's how you sound different from everybody else, and that's what gives art its flavor.
All right, so that was the
There's
beat.
nothing even in there.
Okay. All right. Well, that was the beat. Cameron, do you want to show your lyrics now?
So this is the second half of the song. It would make more sense to go to start there so I can explain the first half, because I started this writing for the second half first because I had an idea for it. I had no idea what to write for the first half because it was just chaotic noise. And so from there, I ended up figuring out what to write for the first half. And there is a warning. This is like really personal, and it's going to be kind of hard for me to talk about, but that's the beauty of art. So the first part, it's I survive hospital beds, blah, blah, blah. I survive hospital beds, blah, blah, blah. I survived hospital beds. I'll save the kid from all that stress. I'm standing now. I couldn't then. So the hospital beds part was the time to where I was hospitalized for because I passed out in public due to malnutrition and dehydration. So I ended up going to the hospital for like a day or two. It sounds a little exaggerative in the lyrics, but
yeah.
Anyway, I say that because that person at the time, which was me at 16, going through a lot. And now that I'm older, I'm able to look back, reflect, and change the person who I am. And now that I'm standing physically and mentally standing up for myself, I could make those changes. And back then I couldn't. And that's the intro. All right. So I made them struggle for peace. You gave me much empathy. I got them trapped in a war zone, making us fall to defeat. Like, who gonna stop me, huh? You won't stop me, huh? Who gonna stop me, huh? You won't stop me, huh? So I view this part as my past self making like my future self struggle for peace, just because of the way that I was as a person mentally, as well as the way I coped with like disordered eating, depression, and anxiety, and all that stuff, because I had a really bad attitude towards people, and that is the way that I coped with my own stuff, and it made me a jerk. And you giving me much empathy is how I am now, as well as the person that I'm becoming. Just, it's self-explanatory. I'm giving my past self empathy, and it has me trapped to becoming the person that I want to be, because feeling too much for the person isn't very good, and it just makes me feel really defeated. Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out how to completely move on from the past sides of myself, all while still being in that stage of growth, making me feel like I'm stuck as a human being, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The who gonna stop me part, the way I say it, I tried to say it as if it's like an ego booster. Like, my past self was very like selfish and had like, I had a high ego, and it was a fake ego, but I still had a high ego when I talk to people to make myself feel better. And I expressed myself in that way, in a way to where my past self can say, you won't stop me from being more destructive towards myself and just being a jerk. And the person I want to be is telling my past self, you won't stop me from being the person I want to be, no matter how I feel. If I feel defeated, all that crap. Okay, that's the hook so far. This is the start of the verse. You kept it discreet, and the reasons because you'd be called out for your deeds embarrassingly. The effort you put into that made you truly strong. I wasn't there yet. It's something I'd remember. So this is me now kind of calling out the past things that I did. Like the way I treated people, the way I treated myself, and the way that I just acted inappropriately in public. And I kept all my like shitty actions very quiet towards other people, and just even towards myself, because I didn't want to get caught. And I got away with it. And the only person that can call it out is me, because all that stuff was like so long ago. So I'm calling that out in this song. And while I wasn't myself now, wasn't there yet to call that out, it's still something I'm going to remember. And I think the idea of saying I wasn't there yet, it's something I'd remember, is kind of confusing. And I kind of like that. It sounds like opposites to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Real quick, I wanted to say that part was written in 12/8, so the fact that you can spit something that means something to you over just something that weird. Just the beat. I wrote it in the hi-hats are in eighth note triplets, which is like 12 a bar, which is 12 eighth notes sometimes. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's complex. It shouldn't. But I remember you saying that part was really weird to rap over. But I'm glad because that was one of my favorite parts of this song. I'm glad you were able to do that.
Yeah, thank you. I really like my delivery, and it sounds very to me it sounds really unique. And what made it really easy for me actually is that I just counted like 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of the hi-hats. I was just like, so that it made it pretty easy.
The pulse is still kind of quarter notes.
Yeah, counting quarter notes. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say? I should probably ask you guys because I know I'm explaining myself.
Yeah, I want to say also that kick pattern and the something I remember part is also just the Jersey Club pattern. Just slowed down to 80 beats per minute.
Interesting.
I just saw that randomly. I don't know if I said that about the second song yet, but go ahead.
No. Okay. So then I say, the thrill of your yesteryears hopefully helped then. You killed those messy tears gloating for shelter. The shit you felt makes it okay to be self-served. I'll never forgive you as fuck you forever. This guiltiness heaviest left after death. This is me continuing to call myself out. Saying, like, I hoped that the impulsive stuff you did in the past, like, helped. Like, it's like a sarcastic thing. Like, you know how when you're, like, in an argument with someone and you say something, like, really petty, when you're just like, well, I hope your shitty actions made you feel better. But, like, the shitty action was towards you. Like that. And,
no, I get that completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an introspective bar. Damn.
Yeah,
at the time when I first heard it, I had no idea how personal this song was until we like sat down in a call, like before the video started filming, and we talked about. Because with the way I mixed it, especially, like it was super hard to understand, and that's not a fault to you; it's a fault to my mixing and just the style of the song.
No, I like the style of the song just because, like I said earlier, it just sounds like something I'd make, and now it's like I'm reflecting the past over a song that I would make in the past. It's really cool. But like a more matured sound too.
I even showed it to a friend today, and she said she couldn't understand it either, but it went hard. So you're creating like this hype atmosphere to the people that don't understand you, and like this kind of almost depressing yet uplifting in the sense that this is kind of a triumph for you.
Yeah, because
you got aura. You got aura.
Thank you. Yeah, and I do have some there is some inspirational stuff towards myself in the later parts. Anyway,
when you were writing this song, was it almost kind of comforting to you?
Honestly, I just write like this because I have no idea what to say.
Yeah,
actually,
enough.
I need to grow from this shit. But yeah, actually, you're right because you're right. I forgot about it. I was like in the car, like at a park, writing this, and it was beautiful. Actually, it was very kind of like
blissful.
Yeah. Like blissful, but just like damn, like I can write like this now. Like all this time went by, and like I can write. Like this. That's how it was.
It's weird. It's weird that it's been 18 months. It's weird that I've gotten this far as a person. Because like even the person I was last year makes me cringe like a lot. I won't even get into anything because my own music is kind of that reminder of that era for me. Not in a bad way, but just remembering our pasts are important to us. It's kind of what I don't know where I'm going with this. You know what I mean. I don't have to say shit. We're like interlocked, you feel me? Yeah.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like we both are interlocked. I mean, I don't know how comfortable you are talking about these kinds of things, and I'm not gonna say anything super crazy.
No, I purposely left it out. I purposely left everything out, the context out, because I know it wasn't entirely needed. Because we know what we're talking about. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want me to say anything else, that's fine. I guess the only I would say is that like it's like a big brother type thing. If that makes
Yeah,
okay. That's all I'll say. Okay, so you killed those messy tears gloating for shelter. That's the next line. So that's just another Like, I'm just calling myself out again that, like, in order for me to stop feeling depressed, I just, like, have a fake ego and just be super loud and obnoxious. And that's what I did as a teenager.
Me too. That's
enjoy it while you can, for real. Because once you're like 20, everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So enjoy it while you can. The shit you felt makes it okay to be self-served. That's also another kind of like a sarcastic, petty line. The same way the first line is. It's like, yeah, it's totally okay if you're a jerk as long as it makes you feel okay. Like, that's me calling my past self out. And the next line, I'll never forgive you, it's fuck you forever. It's like, I'm done. Like, I'm tired of feeling like that, and I've wanted to move on to become a better person. And it's also me bargaining with the person that I used to be in the past, kind of, like, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have to go.
You're good.
Sorry. All of you have a good day. Wait. Shout out bread. I've been eating this bread like the entire video. Shout out Miss McCrary. That's the art teacher that I told about hidden driveway. Shout out Cameron. Shout out Merrick. Shout out Miss Shannon. All right, bye.
All right,
I'm gonna go have my birthday party now. I'll see y'all.
Yeah, have a good one. So then I say, this guiltiness heaviest left after death. Fine. So this guiltiness heaviest left after death is just, I'm going to feel guilty about the things that I've done as long as I live. And if I have a soul after I die, I'll still feel that way. And the people who would be alive when I do die would still be affected by my actions. That's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
A step in some direction, right? You had some sinless life pass over just to feel you want to stay alive, let alone your thing with trying. Stepping stones won't make it right. You'd still be a dick even if wanting to apologize. So this is me as like a present in a present state, wanting to become the person that I am, as well as the person that I would be already, just calling all my past shit out. That's like, you're still a shitty person, even if you want to try. Yeah, it's better, but like, you're still not there yet. That's what I meant. And it also ties in with the next four bars. I know you talking shit. What the fuck, you stupid bitch? I could say that to your face, but that reaction makes you grin. I could honestly care less whether or not you're listening. I just had a couple words for you to hurl and spew. So my past self and future self could be like thinking that I'm like talking shit to each other, and either version of myself could be saying those past lines. And I tried to write those 5 or so bars that I know you're talking shit onward, to where if you think about it in my past self speaking and my present self speaking, as if they're talking to each other. I know I didn't word that very well, but I hope you understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I could say all those past things to my present self's face, and that reaction would make me grin because I know everything about you. Like, you're not gonna piss me off like you want me to. So if my present self would say that to my past self, I wouldn't want them to have that ego booster of being like, yeah, like, I pissed you off or whatever, because I would be pissed off if that, like, my present self would be pissed off. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But I tried. Okay. So I feel like it's exposed that my present self is talking when I say, you make me struggle for peace, but you won't make me stop believing another world to where I'm free, as well as the victims who hear this. And I feel like that's just me trying to break free from my past self as well. And yeah, basically. Okay. So your memory fade as the dates are now leaving. So like, time goes by, I'm becoming a better person. Your memory stays when the days are a bleak sheet. So when I say bleak sheet, I just mean like monotonous. Like, when the days are monotonous, I could reflect on the person that I was in the past, or the person I'm trying to become.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes, like, even if you do change yourself and the way you react, it doesn't mean you have the same feelings. And sometimes, like, during the process of me becoming the less angsty person, I would still fuck up sometimes. So, like, the memory stays when the days are a bleak sheet. So, like, either when it's boring or just when it comes back, basically. Because, like I said earlier, the thought stopped thoughting. I'm just trying to say that I still feel this way sometimes when the days are dull. And when, like, regular things go by that could piss you off if you really wanted to piss you off, but if you could control your feelings, then that's good for you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I say, all of my life isn't ahead of me living to die. Don't think the dreading will never be light. Now I can choose to do what I would like. So I see this very monotonous in the song. And this is obviously very depressing lyrics. And I can choose to do what I would like because, I mean, at that time period, if you're depressed, you're and suicidal, you want to kill yourself. So when I think of that, I think of how I can choose to do what I would like because I don't care anymore about what other people think. And because the dread is just too much. So my days are numbered. I live the comfort. 17's really a dream to fucking discover. So, I mean, my days are numbered. It's like, I'm going to die soon. I live the comfort. It's like, when you're in a state of depression, it's really easy to stay into it because it's all you're familiar with. And it becomes toxic comfort. And 17's really a dream to fucking discover. I feel like that exposes the time period to where I was that shitty person and just very, I guess, like a broken person. So it's really a dream to discover. It's like, even though it sounds positive, it's like, it's more like a, yeah, right. Like, I doubt I'll make it. And then the last part is like completely flipping the hook with my past self kind of responding to the first hook of, in a sense, saying, I make him struggle for peace. Fuck all of your empathy. Trapped in this war zone. It's great if I fall to defeat. And who's going to stop me from that? It's like my raw, like the inner raw self that I'm trying to move on from is still there. And that's what it's screaming. That's the end of the second half.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first half of the song. So it starts with.
Wait, is there a reason you wanted to do the second half before the first half for the breakdown? Like thematically?
Yeah, so the reason why is because the first 4 lines would make sense if I were to explain it on this way, because I can say I'm reloading with like the bullshit that and the arguments that I like in a metaphorical sense between my past self and present self of how to become a better person. And like I don't really know if you can really say that like if you didn't know the second half. And the barrier is broken, being like, I'm tired of denying it. It needs to fucking like be known. Like we need to have this conversation. And I also use the what's it called? Kind of like war vocabulary, just because the first half really reminded me of like some like gunshots and shit. Like the snare rolls, they reminded me of gunshots. So that's why. So the third line is, my empty clip loves who I've met with. Your family bought a casket for your grave that has no head in it. The third line is, it's like, it loves who I've met with. Like it's, I would view that as my past self, like killing my present self and just kind of letting that anger fuel the first half of the song. And I also like the way I worded that too, because it's like, it's an empty clip. It loves who I've met with. It's like, you know, like I killed that side of me. Then your family bought a casket for your grave that has no head in it. And I had something for this one that I wanted to say, but it's along the lines of saying that you have a body in a casket because that side of you is dead, and it has no head because you're already mentally gone. That's basically what I was going to say. And it's like, and it's also a way, it's like a headshot, basically. Like does that make sense? Like my past self killed my present self with a headshot. But anyway, that's the hook. And I mean, there's not really much explanation needed for the first half because I'm just kind of setting the tone of how my past self was. And I also told you this, that the first like 3 or 4 lines, the voice of Lil Pump was in my head for some reason. Yeah. So I was just like, you know, like fuck it, you know. And the everybody that do not give a fuck. I had an unreleased song for a tape that I was making, and the hook was "Everybody Dies, I Don't Give a Fuck," and it was like a drum roll after that. But I just reused it because I thought it fit. And so, never gonna stop till it gun up my throat, and I finally got the will to cock back and say "fuck it." It's like always going to be this way and cause destruction until I decide to kill myself, because that's the reason why I do it, because I don't feel good. and I don't need no reason to cause havoc because the evil seep into my blood into the stream that crashes. So with the way that I felt at the time, I noticed that with the way that I reacted when it comes to my attitude and stuff, it was almost as if it was second nature, like it was in my blood. And the way it crashes into my blood and then it breaks my skin with the thoughts that I just don't want to think. It's like the attitude crashes into my bloodstream and it breaks my skin. It's because of, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to word this correctly because I have a really smart way to word it, but I just can't think of it. So I'm gonna just move on. And anything that tries to change me can go suck a dick. And that just, I feel like this is oddly foreshadowing because the second half is me as a changed person. Like I said, it's imagery as to how it was. And stop your shit, I always win. Stop your shit, I always win. Anyone who thinks the opposite can feel my fist. So it's like the battle between like earlier in the song with my past self and my present self, as well as the person that I was becoming during that time period. It's like, it's that egotistical side of myself from the past being like, fuck this. Like, I'm not going to change for anybody. I'm always going to take over anything else. And anyone who thinks, oh, I'll fucking punch you in the face, even though I'm not a violent person. Okay, so this is the line to where it feels like it meshes well into the second half. I say, you think what's best for me is really what's best for him. I'll never be the man I could have been. So it's like, how is becoming a better person best for me when I feel comfortable in that position in the past, like as my past self speaking? And I'll never be the person that I could have been because of those reasons. So and I just keep repeating, like, stop that shit. Like, I'm always going to win, like this metaphorical battle. And this is kind of like an argument between these two people, as well as the person I was becoming. I know I've said that shit a lot, but anyway, then the hook, and yes, that's the lyrics.
It's a very lyrically dense song, which you might not even know if just by listening to it, just how it's mixed. But I think it was really cool to get more insight on that.
Yeah, thank you. I write my lyrics all the time. I always try to make sure I have something to say. I know a lot of people don't care about that, but me as like a writer and performer, I think even if you don't care about lyrics, because I mean, as a listener, I'm not going to listen to the lyrics first thing. I always want to make sure I'm talking about something, even if it's loosely. Like I have a song talking about like the shit that pissed me off this last week. So I mean, just like stuff like that. Like even if it's something small, I always want to make sure I'm talking about something because I think it's the what's the word? Basic expectation. It was the basic expectation as a writer and a performer to have something like to talk about, even if not a lot of people do. That's just the expectations I put on myself because I want to see myself do better, and I feel like as someone who listens to it, they deserve like a good song,
like more substance to it.
Yeah, they deserve someone to they deserve someone to try their best and put their best effort in. Maybe that's a little too much, but I just really care, I guess.
I think it shows though with your writing and like your delivery because it's just so like intense.
Yeah, so a part of the second half, I was influenced by the vocalist for System of a Down. Like the way he speaks is just very like in your face, like not even like screaming, but just like super loud, and you can feel him speak. I actually have the one of the vinyls, and to me, it's just funny because I can totally hear this on like, well, if I adjust the flow a little bit, I can totally hear this on like a rock song, and I don't know. That's just how I feel personally.
Is that a direction you think you would ever go in, like where there's no hip hop element to the instrumental at all? It's just like a rock thing.
I'd love to, but I'm not well educated in it yet. To do that, like how I was with rap music. When I started making rap music, I was like 15 or so, and I'm very aware that, and we talked about this in our interview, that you need to have, I mean, for me personally, you need to have a basic knowledge, if not an advanced knowledge, to become a unique and great artist. If I were to contribute, I would want to do something that nobody has ever done before. And I don't have that knowledge for rock music, even though I know like I know some, but like I'm not like super into it like I used to be with rap music. Now I'm just making stuff that I know how to do. It's kind of boring, honestly. But yeah.
But yeah, so that was Hammocks and Gurneys by Cameron Shull and jnoh77, who is no longer here with us, not because they died, because they had to go to their birthday party to celebrate their life.
Yeah, happy birthday to them.
Well, happy late birthday. Their birthday was like a few weeks ago. They're doing it today.
Yeah, it was. I remember.
Yeah, it's a super awesome song. I got to see, like, even before this video, I got to see the whole, like, creation process of it, so that was really cool. And I'm really glad that y'all joined forces, because I think Judah really needed somebody like you to, like, do vocals for them, because they've really wanted to have something like that for a long time, so I think it's awesome that you were able to, like, complete their vision for it.
Yeah, not only is it awesome, I love the song. I really like how it sounds. I also think as a personal standpoint, I think it's really cool that they met me, because I've just gone through stuff that they could or could have not gone through. Just like, I don't want to say like, I'm not saying mental health wise, but just more in a way that's like, I've experienced 5 more years than them, so like, I can give you some good advice if you need it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's honestly like a really beautiful song, like just because the meaning of it, like I said earlier, and just how it was just all created, and it was just beautiful. Mm-hmm. Even if it sounds like
do you have any like quick like closing thoughts, like anything you want to say?
Me and you are working on some music together.
We are.
So I don't know what's out, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I know in an interview we talked about how we had a song together, and that song is still gonna come out as part of Drill Gaze at some point, which I'm still working on. I know I said I wanted it out by like mid-July when I did that, and this will be coming out in August. So as you know, that wasn't the case, but that's still work in progress. And then we have a little EP that we're putting together, because we realized that song was so awesome that like, well, why not just pick more of those awesome songs? So.
Exactly. Like when you first sent me the first beat for Drill Gaze, I was like, holy shit! Like this is a vision that like I need to fulfill. Like, and you're the person who makes those beats, so I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. You have been pushing me to, because I feel like usually I make like smoother sounding stuff, but for you, I just don't think. Like I've been trying to make stuff that like leans more towards your strengths, I think, and doing like a smoother type beat. Like, I know I sent you one, and then I realized like, oh, this probably isn't gonna work. So I've been having to go in like a harsher direction than I normally would.
I mean, I definitely have made some smooth shit before, and I can, but I just prefer making other kinds. Like you sent me a song the other day with like a jazz sample, and I really loved that. Like I would have rapped on a beat like that, but it wouldn't have been like. I wouldn't have been screaming. It would have been just it's more rapping regularly, and I feel like I'm starting to make that kind of music just because I'm tired of making the music I've been making for the past 4 years or so. Like ever since I was 19, I'm pushing my own boundaries. That's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know if this is the right word, but you're inadvertently. Let me rephrase that.
Inadvertently.
You're somehow. Yeah, that word. You're somehow with the little EP that we're making. It's somehow pushing my boundaries even more, because I was pushing boundaries by just like screaming my heart out, and now it's making me feel like, wow, I need to be a little bit more softer. So like, making songs, trying new things. It's really boring for me to just make the same shit. Because I used to start out just making like regular like hip hop music.
I mean, so you said yourself that you were like an Earl Sweatshirt clone when you started, so.
Yeah, like, my voice dropped when I started listening to Earl Sweatshirt, so. So I even had the voice for it at the time, but yeah, no, I just like making new stuff. I don't really understand how people like who've been out there like since the 90s just make the same sound. It doesn't piss me off, but if I was them, it would piss me off. I'd feel like I'm still the same person, you know? I want to grow with my sound.
Yeah.
That also makes the artist more interesting, to me personally. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, so shout out Cameron Shull, shout out jnoh77, and yeah, go check out Hammocks and Gurneys.
Yeah, thank you so much for everything. I always appreciate that I always want to tell you this every time. Thank you so much for giving a platform for people. It's so awesome. You need to hear that more. But thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, check out the song. Check out their music, or wherever they are. I don't know. Check out their music.
I hear it.
Yeah, right there. Check out their music. Goes hard as hell. And yeah, thank you for having us on.
Of course.